436, 437, 445, 47, 48, 449, 450, 451, 452, 453, 454, 455, 457, 458, 459, 5 minutes, 501, 502, 503, 504, 505,
Okay, Greg.
507, 508, 509, 510, 511, 512.
Go, Ethan. Nice job.
514, 515, 516, 517, 518, 519.
Let's see it next.
have our leader in the finishing stretch now in the bus lane. 13 minutes, 51 seconds. 14:45, the time he has to beat to have an American record. Let's help him in. 14 minutes now. American record for Syracuse and the Syracuse Festival of Races. And here they come. Following Kev Castillo in second, Benjamin Snodgrass of Portland, Oregon. David Angel of Blue Ridge, Virginia is our third finisher overall. And William Hoyne, whoa, that could be a PR for William Hoyne of Clay, New York. We have Jonathan Frieder of Rybrook, New York across the line. Greg Selke of Buffalo across the line. Way to go, Tom Warfel of Syracuse. Got Kent Lemmy of Pittsfield, Massachusetts in the Greater Springfield Harriers. Keith McAteer of Westerly, Rhode Island. Got Greg Putnam of Stoneham, Massachusetts. Nat Larson, there is Nat Larson of...
Great job.
All right, then Nat Larson followed by Christian Blake, Ethan Nadeau, Michael Kent, Elliot Frieder across the line. Derek Jones of Henrietta, New York. Here's Brian Crowley of Hillsborough, New Jersey. Jason Harcum of Fayetteville. Mark Williams of Columbia, New Jersey in the Garmin Runners. Hank Church of the race committee and a Syracuse resident. Great job by Hank. Jordan Verano of Vestal, New York. Andrea DeMott, our 2013 champion here. Thomas Knowles of Oakland, New Jersey. Jeremy Zagoda of the Syracuse Running Club. Grant Bannister of West Hartford, Anna Yulkowski, Matt Ebner of the Cal Coast Track Club from Covina, California, Chuck Schneidkloth of Franklin, New Jersey, Patrick Hunt of Syracuse, Boker Burkowski of Gansevoort, New York, and Brad Eckersley of Syracuse, Ron Kahanowitz of Smithville, Missouri, back again at the Syracuse Festival of Races, Adam Ames of Ithaca, New York. We got Jason Mintz of Syracuse, Stephen Rando of Owego, Ryan Mitchell of Troy, and John Statlander of Clifton Park, New York. John Constant of Hopewell Junction, New York. That's Jeff Constant. Aaron Knobloch of Schenectady, New York. Daniel King of Boulder, Colorado, an athletics boulder. Charlie Andrews of Rochester, New York. Francis Burdett of Worcester, Massachusetts, and the Greater Springfield Harriers. Another GBHer, Andrew Bucci and Philip Russo of Sayville, New York. Jacob Hiller of Oldwick, New Jersey. Tom Deaver of Terre Haute, Indiana. Ken Youngers of the Atlanta Track Club from Tucker, Georgia. David Alm of Brooklyn, New York. Fred Zalakar of Reno, Nevada. Javier Reese, all right, one of our volunteers at the Festival of Races. Javier Reese of Syracuse, New York. Tony Bates of Salisbury, Vermont, and the Green Mountain Athletic Club. Dennis Sambursky of Syracuse, Gary Dennis of Milford, PA, Theodore Schnoffer of the Syracuse from the Genesee Valley Harriers, Lee Toussaint of Milford, Pennsylvania, Neil Coffey of Casanova, Jared Bonina of Syracuse, Eric Larson of Fenton, Michigan, and we have Josh Kobe running on a father-son team with his dad, Chris, Michael Jackson from Leadland, Pennsylvania, Nathan Skipper of Ellenwood, Georgia, and the Atlanta Track Club. Ryan Sear of Syracuse, Scott Bickham of Corning, New York, Rich Turpening of Syracuse, New York, now a finisher. Doug Bell of Greeley, Colorado, in the Boulder Roadrunners is once again a finisher at the Syracuse Festival of Races. Raymond Clark of Syracuse is a finisher. Only coming up on 19 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable talent out here this morning. Reno Sturrat of Rockaway, New Jersey in the Shore Athletic Club. George Braun of Denver, Colorado in the Boulder Roadrunners. Tim Riccardi of Marietta, New York in the Genesee Valley Harriers. We have Jeffrey Barrows of the Boulder Roadrunners, Thornton, Colorado. We have Matty Monahan of Syracuse, New York. Brian Cummins of Cortland, New York at the Syracuse Track Club. Michael Gerard of Phoenix, New York. Dennis Delaney of Syracuse and the Syracuse Track Club. Bob McCluskey of Simsbury, Connecticut. Orlo Austin from Erie, Pennsylvania. James Foster of Chittenango. Kirk Larson of the Atlanta Track Club. Stephen Verlanovich of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Alexander Mira, one of the three members of our grandfather, father, and grandson team. The Mirrors. Josh Clark of Huntsville, Alabama. We've got Don Miller of Hubbard. Dennis Kinney of Rochester. Michael Mooney of Highlands, New Jersey. Joel Carroll, and we have just crossed the 20-minute mark. Alex Harrell, John Van Kerkhove of GDH. We got Fred Marty of Syracuse, Lauren Davies of Liverpool, Jerry Learned of Gainesville, Georgia, John Hirschberger from San Francisco, California, Bob Dalton Wilson of Fayetteville, Georgia, and the Atlanta Track Club. Theodore Larison from Portland and the Syracuse Track Club. Eric Casper of Park Mills, New York. Alan Rubin of New York, and the Central Park Track Club. We have Andrew Roth from Groton, New York. David Laris of Clay, New York. Paul Cianfrocca of Camillus. Working of Clearwater, Florida is now across the line. Dave Glass of Glenville, New York at age 71. At age 71, he just broke 21 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Gingello of Rochester, New York. 21:42 is 7 minutes per mile. Dave Glass just ran far under 7 minutes per mile at age 71. Paul Carlin, another 71-year-old from Indianapolis, Indiana, and the Ann Arbor Track Club. Tony Gingello of GBH. Got Mike Winkler from Utica. Xavier Gage from Syracuse. Mike Navarra from Syracuse. Sam Pierre of our race committee, the man behind the top refreshments. Got Ken Cresswell from Casnovia, Kevin Nelson from Owego, and Basan Niavacool of Atlanta, Georgia, and the Atlanta Track Club. Pete Davis from Underhill, Vermont, and the Green Mountain Athletic Association. Matthias Delvecue of Fayetteville, New York. Sean Lindecker of Syracuse. Tyler Mackinnon of Wisconsin, New York. Dr. George Stanley, one more time a finisher at the Syracuse Festival of Races. He's from Syracuse. Corey Smithson of Camillus. Doug Wood from Sylvan Beach. Paul Gellert of Liverpool. Still only 22 minutes on the clock. Joe Blakowski of Syracuse. Joe Santariello of Marcellus. Jim Bright of Skaneateles and the Syracuse Track Club. Rich Ash of Syracuse, New York. Gary Burak of New Hartford and the Utica Roadrunners. Keith Yates of the Genesee Valley Harriers. Got Bill Beierbach from Rochester and the Genesee Valley Harriers. Chris Conley. Diego Barrera of Syracuse. Mike Reef of Victor, New York and the Genesee Valley Harriers. Jan Rossiter of Fulton. Doug Goodhue, ladies and gentlemen, 75 years old from Milford, Michigan, and the Ann Arbor Track Club. Greg Wandersee of North Syracuse. Got Mitch Moore of Rochester, New York, and the Genesee Valley Harriers. Phil Driscoll of DeWitt, New York. You got Roberto Martinez of Utica. Harold Nolan, age 70 of Navesink, New Jersey, and the Shore Athletic Club. Chad Elkovich of Skaneateles, a member of a father-son team here today. Len Berry from Manlius of the Syracuse Track Club. Premislaw Nowicki of Hopedale, New Jersey, and the Shore Athletic Club. Great finish for Josh Craddock of Fayetteville, New York, and Byron Fire of Fayetteville, New York. Curtis Walker of Tucker, Georgia, and the Atlanta Track Club looking great. Got Mike Guzman, age 17, the young Mike Guzman from Fayetteville, New York. Kyle Rivers of Cicero. Got Jim Latshaw of Clinton, New York, one more time a finisher. Here's the other half of that Copey father-son team. Chris Copey across the line. Got Dave Cohen, age 74 of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the Ann Arbor Track Club across the line. Now we've got Jim Teskey of News Channel 9, our fabulous meteorologist. I hope that's a PR, Jim. Unofficially, 23 minutes, 52 seconds. Dennis Moore, Gabriel Young, Jeff Heim of Syracuse, New York. Chang Ren of Manlius is now a finisher. Another one of our race committee members, Russ Wood, is now a finisher, and he has broken 24:30. Way to go, Russ. Greg Slees of Syracuse, Tristan Durkin of Baldwinsville, Brad Hunt of Syracuse. Jonathan Williams of Syracuse is now across the line. We have Kaz Keach, age 11, and Luke Scanlon, age 9, both of Syracuse. So we are now 40 minutes away, ladies, 40 minutes away from your turn. Oliver Delvecue, I suspect we have another father-son team crossing the line. Tom Lambie, age 70 of Benfield, and the Genesee Valley Harriers. We got Robert Mangum of Syracuse and Tony Fiore of Summit, New Jersey, and the Clifton Roadrunners. Charlie Patterson of Buford, Georgia, and the Atlanta Track Club. George Tooker, age 77. He's our defending men's champion, the 75 to 79. And he is from the New England 65 Plus Runners Club, right from Massachusetts. Way to go, Nate Hurwitz, age 32 from Syracuse, Nottingham High School graduate. Bob Simmons of Auburn across the line. Bill Rudd of Clay is a finisher. We got Chaz Sosha of Liverpool and Norman Galuskin of New Paltz, New York in the Central Park Track Club. Great to have the Central Park Track Club up here with the group this year. Bill Ash of Highlands, North Carolina, and the Atlanta Track Club is now a finisher. And Morris Williams, age 7. Flat tire, but he wanted to do the Syracuse Festival of Races one final time. Great job, Fred. Thanks for being out. Way to go, Otis. Welcome to the finish line. 25th Annual Syracuse Festival of Races. John Austin of Syracuse and the Syracuse Track Club. Alan Rolnick of Fayetteville, New York. Perry Singleton of Syracuse, New York. Got Kevin Bailey of Syracuse. Mike Flaherty of Jamesville. Dustin Beauchamp of Baldwinsville, and Dylan Barrera of Manlius. John Coohey, age 73 of Oakhurst, New Jersey, and the Shore Athletic Club is now a finisher. Jim Askew of Highlands, North Carolina, and the Atlanta Track Club is now a finisher, as is Andrew Sherwood, age 77 of Atlanta, and the Atlanta Track Club. Kavanaugh, way to go, Tim. Alan Brown of Manlius, one more time across the line at the Syracuse Festival of Races Men's 5K. Jack Bob, one of our bookenders here this morning. This gentleman ran the first one here in 1993, and he has run the final one in 2017. 70 years old. Jeremy G. Heimerman of Syracuse, followed by Henry G. Heimerman of Syracuse, Paul Isaac of Fulcroft, Pennsylvania, and the Philadelphia Masters one more time here. Jim Mira II, that is the father in our grandfather, father, and grandson team. All righty, great job. Jim Frontino of Brookville, Pennsylvania, and the TNT International Racing Club is now across the line. George. Michael Gold of Brantford, Connecticut, running on a father-daughter team here once again this year. Say, that's Gary Gate, head coach of the Syracuse University women's lacrosse team. Great job, Gary. Andrew Milstein of Syracuse. Mark Milstein of Ithaca. Tim Hammond of Syracuse. Here's Joe Saley, age 77, from Teaneck, New Jersey, and the Clifton Roadrunners Club. Way to go, Joe. Ross Molgano, the husband of Deb Clary, longtime member of our race committee and a wonderful supporter of the Syracuse Festival of Races. Welcome to the finish line, Ross. Way to go, Jim Bliss of Auburn, New York.
We're about to start a race. Why is he telling me?
And here is Steve Etheridge of Syracuse, New York, age 73, and he uses his mile speed to kick it across the line. John Owens of Liverpool is a finisher. Way to go, Richard Sargent, age 75 of Syracuse. And we have Jerry P. Smith. Jerry P. Smith, age 70 from Liverpool, once again a finisher here at the men's 5K at the Syracuse Festival. The MVP up there, women's 5K. Norman Jaffe of Fayetteville, New York is a finisher. That's Jim Mira, ladies and gentlemen, of the three-generation team we've been talking about. That's the grandfather of the grandfather and father and son team, visiting from North Carolina, Cary, North Carolina, where he now lives. And it is fabulous to have him and Jim II and Alex here in the race today. At 33.50, we have Bill Clark and Wade Stockman across the line. Dave Elkovich, the other half of that Elkovich father-son team. Bookenders and a man who has run this event 24 of its 25 years, Sam Gracefo, Dr. Sam Gracefo of Fayetteville. And this is Al Swan, age 77 of Clifton, New Jersey, in the Clifton Roadrunners Club. 502 company line, Steve Fuchs, age 80, ladies and gentlemen, from Stony Brook, New York, and a Syracuse University alumnus, back visiting campus for the first time since, what, 1958? John Crowley, age 66, of Syracuse. Way to go, John. 5K at the Syracuse Festival of Races. Great job. This is David Ryder, and the time is under 37 minutes. David Ryder, fabulous job. Fabulous job, and volunteers year in and year out. Gary Douglas, age 71, of Cicero, now across the line, followed by Roger Dawsman of Phoenix. And how many times for Gary Douglas and Roger? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman we've been talking about. Number 495 is Roy England of Springfield, Virginia, and he has just hammered the American 5K record for 95 to 99-year-olds, breaking the record by more than 8 minutes here in Syracuse. Unbelievable! One of the key people in the Syracuse Chargers track club in the 70s and early 80s. Phil Rice, age 81, now across the line.
Hi, well, I'm Dave O.J., and I'm the founder and for 25 years the race director of the Syracuse Festival of Races. For the past 10 years, and also in 1994, host to the men's and women's USATF Masters 5K National Championships. What I want to say about this race is that it was established in order to replace the Syracuse Freihofers Run for Women, which ended in 1992 because of the sale of the Freihofer Baking Company at that time. That was the only race in Syracuse that produced any nationally significant road race performances. And I didn't want Syracuse to be a running community that didn't have at least one annual road race that produced nationally significant road race performances. So I thought, let's go ahead and see if we can replace the Freihofers Run for Women with something new, and we'll call it the Festival of Races, and we'll equalize the status of men and women and have separate races and see if people can run fast on the course that the Freihofers Run for Women field ran so fast on in 1992. So we did it, and as luck would have it, a fellow that nobody had ever heard of at the time, who was living in the western New York area after having come over to the U.S. from Morocco to compete in the World University Games that summer, got rounded up by our athlete coordinator, Dave Petruno. That was a day when we had a time when we had some open athlete prize money in the race. This fellow named Khalid Kanuchi was the first finisher in the history of the Syracuse Festival of Races. Well, Khalid came to love the race, and he wound up running here 4 times. He and his coach, Sandra and wife, regarded it as the ideal tune-up for the Chicago Marathon, which was then 2 weekends after the Festival of Races. So he used to use the Festival of Races for his final tune-up race before he set the American record and the world record in Chicago. Well, how is that for a good first finisher for a road race? A very poor, very small road race in a small market. That was wonderful. In 2002, when we were still putting all of our meager prize money into the open field, our first 4 men went 13:27, 13:27, 13:31, and I think 13:37. Those proved to be 4 of the 10 fastest men's 5K road race performances run in the world that year, in a little tiny race in a tiny city in upstate New York, and that was 2002. And then in 2008 we shifted over. We took all our meager prize money, we put it into hosting the Masters Championship. The athletes have supported the race beyond to the 10th power of my wildest dreams. the number of states represented each year, the number of USATF associations represented, the number of age groups in which we're crowning national championships, and in fact giving out all 3 of the medals. It is fantastic, and it really makes this a race that deserves the title national championship. The athletes, even though they know they're not going to get a medal, many of them, super talented athletes, super dedicated athletes, will come knowing they're going to run 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in an age group. You look at something like our men's 50 to 54 age group this year, or in 2009, and you just say, these are people who are serious athletes. They want to get out there in a competition opportunity that's going to give them the chance to have the best performance they can have, given their talent and their current level of training and fitness. And all I can say is thanks to the athletes for wanting to come here and take the competition opportunity that we're trying to provide them.
And this was the final year of the Masters Championship at the festival?
Yeah, this is the last year in this 10-year run. I am retiring as the race director. Whether the race will continue, I don't know. Whether some new race will want to use the same course, I don't know. All I've been focused on is trying to make everything go swimmingly on Sunday morning, October 1st, 2017. I'll take a deep breath tonight. I have had people calling me and saying, hey, could we talk about maybe you sell me the race? And I don't really want to sell the race. I would almost rather see it die than be purchased by somebody who turns it into a profit center, rather than trying to sustain it as an athletic competition that appeals to serious athletes. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. And all I can say is thanks to the athletes, because look, you can have a good race, a safe race, without high quality athletic performances, but you can't have a great road race unless you have great athletic performances, and we have had those in spades because of the athletes. So thanks to all of the athletes.
Dave, thank you very much for all the hard work you put in over the years.
It has really, honestly, been fun.